Our presenter today is Yahaya, and he's in our Cincinnati office. A little bit about Yahaya. He has over 6 years of experience in aero engine components manufacturing. So, specifically on CAM and CNC machining. Now, throughout Yahaya's career, he has been a CNC machinist, a CAM programmer, and a manufacturing engineer. So, Yahaya, I cannot wait to see what information you have to share today. So, please go right ahead. Tech Talk is now yours.
Hello all, welcome to Prolim's Tech Talk. My name is Yahya Khan and I'm an XCAM applications engineer here at Prolim. So today we'll be looking at migration of our tool libraries from an older version to a newer versions in an XCAM. So without wasting any of your time, let's jump right into our Tech Talk and see what are the best practices that we can do and what are the pitfalls that we can avoid during this migration process. So I do have two versions of NX that I already opened up over here. So on the right side, I have my NX 2406, which is an out of the box version. And on my left, I do have my NX 2212, which is also an out of the box. So the reason why I have changed this background to black color is just to have a noticeable difference between these two versions. So here we are talking about a scenario. Let us assume like uh, I have recently upgraded my NX version from 2212 to NX 2406, and I do have my custom created tools um, and holders and all those stuff that I've been doing in my NX 2212. So my goal is now to transfer or migrate these tools which I have created to NX 2406 version which I have recently installed. So so I know like in the industry normally whenever we are migrating the tools, some users I've heard with a lot of customers like some users they go ahead and directly edit that files, but I would not recommend you to do that because we have a tool that take care of that everything. So before I dig more into that, let me show you a process of converting the tool library. Okay, so now we will be going to open a part file in our NX 2406, and once we have that file open, what we're going to do here is we will be navigating. So there are obviously, like there is a location of the uh, convert to library icon, but uh, whenever you, whenever you feel like you were not able to find it, you can search that convert to library option right away in the search command bar over here, and you can directly open your convert to library. But I'll show you where it is actually located. It's under menu. If you navigate to your tools and then all the way down, you will be able to see the convert to library icon where it says converts ASCII tool libraries from a prior release to the current and next format. So let's open this up. And now once I open my convert to library icon, it's going to ask me to select a data file, basically a data definition file. So what I'll be doing here, I'll be navigating to my C program files, Siemens, and so now the main thing that we have to be looking at here is we have to select our database file, the data definition file from the version where you have created all your custom tools. So in my case, that would be NX2212, and I'll navigate to Mark folder, resource, under library, and tool folder over here. So we have to follow the same procedure that what we're gonna do for all these English and metric uh, units. So now I'm going to show you with the metric units, and then the process will apply same to the English as well. So let's go to our metric units, and here when we select our tool database file over here, which is in the data extension. So what this is going to do is, before I do this, I would like to bring up my NX2406 tool library so that you can see the noticeable difference over here. So now my tool database for NX2212 has a 531 KB, and for my tool database, which is of my NX2406, has a little less size, obviously. So now what it does is, when I click on to this tool database file, uh, and when I click OK to this, it's gonna not only upgrade the tool database file over here, but also the holder database and the track point database, and also shank database. But it only updates whatever tools that I have shank and holder and tracking point together build and exported to my library when I was using my NX2212. But anyways, you need to update all these folders, whatever folders are available with the extension of .dat files in the metric, and you would all you would also need to update the English folder as well. So you need to update every single file over here, convert every single file over here inside the metric and the English. So you need to do that step by step, starting with the tool database. Even by clicking the tool database also updates the holder, but it only updates the parent child tools when you created in the previous version over here, but it'll not update the single holders what you have created and updated to the tool library. So always it's a best practice to update each tool data, convert each tool database over here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and select this tool database. Now it's going to take a little while depending on how big is your tool database file is, 5 minutes or 5 to 8 minutes roughly, and you can see like the turning icon of our cursor will change to the NX positional cursor, and then you can be able to rectify that your migration process has been completed. So let's wait for a couple of minutes to see uh, whether until my migration process completes. Okay, so my migration process has been completed. Let us see our NX2406 metric folder. Now here, now I'll be able to see before the migration process, we only had all these Notepad extension, I mean the Notepad files. But now after the migration, the convert to library creates .dat underscore back file, which is a backup file. So by this we can see it has updated my track point database, my tool database, also my holder database. That means I do not have any shank uh, that uh, that I have created with my tool in my NX2212. So it has only updated uh, these three files altogether. So if I go to my NX2406, and if I create a new tool, and if I retrieve it from a milling, Oh, I need to select metric units over here. Now you can see over here I have 229 counts that matches with these library units. If I say OK, now you can see over here I have my tools that has been converted. So yeah, this is how you can convert your old tool database to your new versions. Now, since we have converted our old tool database to our new NX2406 version, now the next question that comes is how can I revert back my migration to my previous out of the box? So that's where these the backup files that we see over here comes into play. So here, what we can do one thing, uh, we can we can first rename our new converted tool database. So let me do that. I'll rename this as underscore one, and make sure you have your admin privileges to do this. So I'm gonna rename my holder database. So you have to be very careful in this procedure because you have to only rename the new files that has been migrated. So I have my holder .dat back file, so I'll rename my holder database. I have my tool database .back file. I'll rename my tool database. And the next thing what I'm going to do is rename my tracking point database. Now what I'll do here is I'll rename this underscore back to that file, and I'll do the same thing to this tool database file, and again the same process for tracking point. So once I have done this, what I'll do is I'll I'll create a new folder, and again you'll need a um, admin privileges for this. I'll say NX22. This is not necessary, but I'm just moving these three uh, files that the migration tool has been created, and I'm putting this into this NX2212 folder. Now I have my old tool database over here. So what I'll do here is I'll cancel this. I'll go ahead and close my NX. I don't want to save any changes over here. I'll reopen it. Now I have my NX open. So let's open up the part file, and since we have changed or renamed our old files, and we have moved over the migrated files to a new folder, let's retrieve some tools from our library, and let's select our metric units. And now you'll be able to see we have 175 count matches. So we have to be very careful in this scenario. I don't usually um, recommend you to do this, but in the rare case scenarios, we might want to re- revert back to our migration process in some cases. But yeah, just be careful of what are the files that you're renaming, and how you're organizing your old files, and how you're dealing with your new files and keeping them safe without getting any overlap. So this is the one way of retrieving, reverting back to your migration files. And the other question, what we're going to take a look at here is, so we have seen the process of doing this migration. So let's talk about the don'ts that we don't want to uh, do any kind of thing. So I would usually recommend you to to do not to edit your database file directly with a notepad. So let me bring up my mark folder over here, and if I go to my mark resource library and tool, let's open up a metric tool database file. So some of the users or might have a question saying that we've been editing the database files from a long time and we haven't seen any issues. So um, until now, since from NX12 or 11, uh, if you have seen this nomenclature over here, there are little changes, but if at all, let's say the main concern would be this table over here. So these are the list of the tools that what when we click to retrieve tools on the create tool dialog box, each has a library reference name, its tool number, and all those kind of things. So let's say you have changed. So let me open this up in a file comparer to see better results. So I'll open up my file comparer over here and I'll compare two different texts. So let's on the left side, let's open up NX 2212 file. So I'll go to program files, Siemens, NX 2212 under mark, resource, library, tool, and metric, and our tool database. On the right, let's open up our NX 2406 tool database. Mark again, resource, library, tool, metric, tool database. So now they from NX2212 to NX 2406, looks like we haven't seen any major changes in these columns. So these columns uh, basically represents like a spreadsheet, each row and each column. So obviously there are some data lines that are missing because we have revert back to our uh, old migration. So for instance, let's say in NX2406, Siemens has added a new row over here. So if you edit this database file by your hand by editing it manually, copying this database the data line over here to here. So what it will think is uh, the library reference row has the values of tool number. So it might happen in that case because all the from the NX2212 to NX2406, there might be like a one row extra over here, and all your data would be organized in a unknown format. So at that time, you will be seeing a lot of issues when you try to create a tool. You will be facing some errors regarding to the TCL file error and also the format not defined properly. Uh, so basically, to avoid those mistakes, never ever edit the tool database file manually through the notepad or any other text editor. So I wanted to tell you this as a heads up because we might end up messing up our existing database file, and but by editing manually, it won't create a .bag file, which is a safer side to do that. So, yeah, for that, always convert your tool libraries through the annex over here, and you will be having a safe procedure to revert back if you want to. So yeah, so that's all I wanted to share with you. I wanted to give you some best practices and also some don'ts that we don't recommend you to do that. I hope you like this tech talk, and I would now like to open up the floor for any questions that you may have.